Hey, Dr. Leverins here to help you out with your audition for the Central Kentucky Youth Orchestra Bravo String Orchestra. This is for our bass audition. So we're going to be going over scales in this video. We're going to have C major to start us off with. Now C major, we're going to have no sharps, no flats. So on our A string, we'll have a C natural, which will be played with the 2. On our D string, we'll also have our second finger playing the F natural. And on our G string, we're going to have a slight shift as we go from open G, 1 on A, shift up to second finger B, and then our 4th finger will play the C, which will be the top of our scale. Our second scale is D major, so we're going to have 2 sharps in the key signature there. We're going to have an F sharp and our C sharp. So we'll start on our open D. We're then going to use our 4th finger to get our F sharp. Our second sharp, C sharp, comes at almost the end of the scale, where we'll have to shift up on the G string to play a 2 for our C sharp, followed by the 4 for our D. So finger going to be open 1 4, open 1 4, shift 2 4. Our third scale is G major. This is going to have 1 sharp in the key signature. That'll be our F sharp. Now we can play this the same way we did our C major scale, but just starting 1 string lower. So on the D string, it would go D, 1 for an E, shift to 2 for the F sharp, and then 4 for our G. Or we can play it with an open G string to end with, which will keep us totally in first position. So it'll be a 2, open, 1, 2 on the C natural, open, 1, 4 for the F sharp, and an open G. That alternate fingering with a stop G would look like this. Our final scale is going to be F major, so we're going to have 1 flat in the key signature, and that's going to be a B flat. So that's going to put us in half position. So all the other scales we've been in first position, half position, we got to go back. So if in first position our second finger is on G, half position our 4th finger will be on a G, which allows our first finger to be on the F. To grab the B flat on the way up, it'll be 1 4, open, 1 for the B flat. C will be 4, and then we'll open 2. So no E flat here. We'll have to use our 2 for an E natural to get to the F with a 4. So those would be our scales for the Bravo Orchestra here. Key is to stay in time. Use a nice tempo, stay consistent, and go at a tempo that allows you to get a nice big sound. Good luck. Pay attention to those key signatures and have fun. Hey, Dr. Chris Leverins here. We're going to be talking about our excerpts for the Central Kentucky Youth Orchestra Bravo String Audition for Basis. We have 2 excerpts in here. Our first one is by Holst, and it is the Jupiter movement. A very big, lovely sounding movement. So we want to make sure we have a big sound. We don't have a dynamic marking in this particular excerpt, we're going to want to be forte in here. So we're going to want to have a big connected legato sound. Our key signature, we have 1 sharp. It's going to be an F sharp. So we got to make sure we're playing that with our 4th finger on the D string. On the A string, we do have a C natural. So that has to be a 2 whenever we go down to grab that C. So a couple things to pay attention to in here. In measure 26, we have a dotted quarter. Let's make sure we're holding that for the full amount of time, followed by an 1/8. Make sure we're counting that properly. We also have a rest. Make sure you play the whole rest. Rests are just as important as the notes. So in measure 31, open G rest. And for that up bow, in 31, the pickup to 32, the D, G, we don't have to start too far out. We can keep that maybe midpoint, balance point, somewhere right here that's nice and comfortable. So we make sure we get a good speaking tone right from the start of the note. Rest. We do have a little shift in here. Measure 33. We have to go up to grab the C. Now, to do that, I'm going to do a 1, shift 4. Right after that is a B natural. I'm not going to shift for the B natural. I'm going to play it with my 2, so I can just let up the 3rd and 4th finger to play the 2. And then we're going to have an open G. That open G allows me time to shift back so I can end on that E. From there, you should be good to go. Make sure you practice it. Definitely listen to it. If you've never heard this piece before, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a fantastic movement. So listen to a recording, practice with this recording, and good luck. The Grieg is going to be from the Holberg suite. It's a gavotte. It's going to be a faster tempo. So we want to make sure we do that. We also have some dynamic changes in here. So we need to make sure we're paying attention to the piano when we get that. Then we have a forte. Then we even have a fortissimo after that to finish it. So when we come in on forte from the piano, let's save a little bit of energy. That way our fortissimo can be even bigger to finish off the excerpt. This also has just 1 sharp in it. That'll be the F sharp. So on the D string, those will all be played with 4. When we go to the A string for the C's, make sure we're playing it with a 2. It is natural. We can't use the 4 down there as well. So 2 for the C, 4 for the B. Now this particular excerpt, we can stay in first position the entire time, which is fairly handy. We do have a long G. If you want to shift up slightly to finger the G on the D string, it's going to give you a bit of a warmer tone, but that isn't completely necessary. All right, so this is how the excerpt's going to go. So keeping a steady tempo is going to be important. Making sure our slow bow in the piano is well timed out. We have an up bow marked halfway through those 3 tied whole notes. Try and mark it out so that you're holding a down bow for 6 beats and then up bow for 6 beats. So we're cutting that middle half note in half right there. It keeps it nice and even. It allows us to track our bow distribution as we move through the excerpt. Right before that piano, the final note in the measure before is a staccato quarter note that is a D. Use that staccato to kind of reset the bow. That way when we come in, we can be piano. So keeping it nice and short, maybe going from a flatter hair to a bit more side hair. That way we can make a big dynamic contrast. So this is the measure before the piano. That short, that gives us a chance to reset our bow and make sure we soften our hand so we can get a nice piano. We also have a bow lift right after those whole notes. We finish piano. Make sure we're starting down bow right there, and then we have another bow lift right after that. So we start that next passage down bow as well. This is going to allow us to get a bigger sound and a much stronger start to each one of these. Those are the two excerpts you all have for the Bravo String Orchestra excerpt list. Good luck practicing. Have fun.